With stockists literally worldwide, the classic and contemporary designs of Ireland's Eye knitwear can be seen anywhere, from the towns and villages of Ireland to their native city of Dublin, to cities across the United States like New York, Boston and Chicago, and European capitals such as London and Paris, to name just a few.
When you buy one of our sweaters, it's a special purchase.
The attention to detail, a lot of handwork, it's just a different level.
There's no reason for us to exist unless our knitwear is special.
However, the climb to international success remains an inspiring tale of determination and endurance. Rewind the clock over a quarter century to 1988, where in Dublin, Ireland, the O'Sullivan family saw an opportunity to leave their day jobs and start a business together. But the economic landscape of that time was bleak. It was the end of a decade racked by record levels of unemployment and emigration. And as others understandably lost hope and left Ireland, the O'Sullivans had their ambition ignited. They embarked on their own journey, but they were headed into uncharted territory, unaware of the challenges they would face.
My father at the time was working for the government, helping organise the knitwear industry.
A company in the industry at the time approached my father to see could he help them to source a manufacturer.
None of us really enjoyed what we were doing. My brother was an accountant, had a sister who was a piano teacher. So we took the machines and put them in a family friend's factory in the grounds of the old Jameson Whiskey family home.
In fact, had the O'Sullivans fully grasped the extent to which their commitment and perseverance would be tested in the time that followed, it's hard to say if they would have pursued their vision at all.
My brother, my sisters, my mum, my dad, everyone ran machines.
Working all hours, for very little pay, for no pay.
I was a chef at the time, so I was cooking during the day, and after my day's work, I used to cycle from one job to the other and then cycle home.
It was just put your back into it and try and get this thing off the ground.
We took turns running each shift, 3 shifts a day.
Ireland's Eye Knitwear was born out of a family desire to get into business.
You've good days and you've bad days. What I find working for yourself, the good days far outweigh the bad days.
If we were going to do this, it was going to get a lot more serious.
And indeed, serious it was. When Ireland's Eye took delivery of their first computerised knitting machine, it was worth a staggering £50,000 Irish pounds. And then there was the cost of operating it.
At the time, a new house was probably about 26,000. So this is the equivalent of buying 2 houses for one machine. So it was a big throw at the dice.
The knitting machinery, which you see behind me, is very expensive to buy. And in order to get a payback on that machinery, you must run it 24 hours per day. But it does pose a difficulty in terms of a startup situation.
Getting the money, getting the finance to buy more yarn, to keep it fed. I always remember that there was being a family meeting of some sort where, all right, we have this machine now, and all of a sudden it was eating yarn as quickly as we could buy it. It was, where's the next one coming? Where's the next batch coming from?
With experience that now spans 4 decades, Ireland's Eye has long since earned its status in the upper echelons of the Irish knitwear industry. Nonetheless, the O'Sullivans' original commitment and passion remains ever present.
You never give up in any business. Yeah, there are hard times, but you just never give up.
But while that passion and sacrifice may well have been why a fledgling enterprise defied the odds of survival in 1988, to keep any brand alive requires serious business acuity and a whole lot more.
We've lots of customers that have been with us for like 20 years. They don't stay with us because we're nice people. It's a business and there's a bottom line.
We've managed to stay alive, and we have got a great reputation for quality, and we've got a great reputation for delivering the goods correct and on time.
You're only as good as your last collection. If your ranges aren't selling through, they'll drop you fairly quickly.
It's no surprise then that key to the enduring popularity of Ireland's Eye knitwear is their ability to consistently produce distinctive designs.
The first thing you really ever start with in design is the fabric. Here it's the yarn. I like to have lots of swatches around, lots of inspiration.
Ireland's Eyes designs are inspired by Irish heritage and the raw beauty of the rugged Irish countryside and the fishing villages that punctuate the windswept coast of the entire island.
That's why we sell so many garments in Irish souvenir shops, traditional shops.
But there's actually a huge home market as well. Irish people really appreciate the quality of what Ireland's Eye do. And age, it moves across ages as well.
Age 30 right up to 60, 70 years of age.
Design's a challenge always to keep something for everybody within the range. We still draw everything by hand. Computer screens just don't work with it. I like to sketch everything and work with the raw materials. I like to feel fabrics. It's a very tactile thing, knitwear. Paul and Brendan and I will go through, we'll look at all the sketches and we'll select the ones that we think are the strongest.
At the first go, the garment is usually sort of maybe 60% right. We then have a fitting session, pin it, chop it, cut it. We go and make a second prototype. Usually gets it to about 90% correct.
We can prototype something 4, 5, 6 times to make sure it's perfect.
What I do is I go and talk to the customers, find out what they want. And that's the easy bit. Without the design team, without Brendan and Mary to develop the styles and painstaking effort into getting them right, there's no business.
The quality is actually in the detail, the fine, fine details. Half a centimetre can often be critical to get a neckline fitting just right.
0.5 of a centimetre too high and it's irritating your stubble as a guy.
The trouble they go to continue to revisit a garment or a style.
Tiny, tiny measurements make a difference between a good garment and a great garment.
The O'Sullivans remain extremely proud of the family business ethos, which now extends to the entire team.
But even outside of our own immediate family, you know, there's only half a dozen people here for like around 20 years each.
There are new people coming on board all the time, but in essence, it still is a family business. There's a high percentage of people that come and join the company and become lifers. They stay.
And they have no intention of changing that as they look to the future.
I think the future is very bright. Our design is better than it's ever been before. I think our quality is the best it's ever been.
We introduced a new spring-summer range, which is brilliant. A whole other area of yarns as well. So we're taking a lot of the Irish cables, that lovely rich embellishment, and we're putting into linens and cottons, still 100% natural, but opening up a whole other season, which is brilliant.
Keep listening to our customers and keep evolving and keep making special, beautiful knitwear for customers all over the world.